Hey guys, it's Rebecca from Mama Bear Custom Wreaths, and welcome to my channel where I make wreaths and home decor and I show you how I do it all. If you have not done so yet, please hit the subscribe button so you guys don't miss out any of my tutorials. And if you have already subscribed, thank you so much and welcome back. So today we're going to be making a St. Patrick's Day swag. But we're not going to be using our normal swag bases, which can get a little pricey. We're going to be using a much more economical way with a painter's stick as our base, all right? So let's get started. This is 21 inches. So we're going to take the half point of our painter's stick, and we're going to get our chenille stem, and we're just going to place it right underneath. Fold it like so and tie it, and we will have one little leg, a set of legs hanging on this side. We're going to get another chenille stem, same thing, but now we're going to do the other side. So this is what it looks like right now. Then we're going to take another chenille stem, and we are going to put this one right smack in the middle. So now we have 3. And we are going to put 2 more on each side. And these are gonna serve as our little legs to hold our mesh and our ribbon and all our goodies in our swag base. So we're going about 3.5 to 4 inches. You don't have to be so exact, but we're gonna be about 3.5, 4 inches distance of each other, all the little legs. We're gonna do the same thing. I'm going to put 3 legs, one on the left, one on the right, and one in the center. Okay, so we're going to do that 5 times. So we have 5 little bases here with 3 little sets of legs on each one. So we have a total of 15 little legs. So now we're going to just flip our little, looks like a little bug, some kind of centipede or something. And I'm going to take my staple gun and I am going to staple these in just to secure them. Okay. So they are secured in the back with a staple, and I squish them all. So let's put these back how we want them. Okay. Now the top part, I am not gonna staple that because that could go through the other side and scratch your door. So we're just gonna put some hot glue and just secure it there. they stay in place. Okay, so we have a staple on the back, hot glue in on the top. We'll let that cool down, and so we have our staples in the back, which this is our back. I know you can't tell right now, like what is up, what is down. So this is going to be the back side of our base, and this is going to be the top side. So we're gonna put this aside and let this cool. And I've already done some of the prep work, but I'm gonna show you what I did. I got my Deco Mesh, which I have gold, dark green, and a light green. And I am going to measure this. Actually, I'm gonna push this over here. I'm gonna lay my Deco Mesh on top of each other so that I can make one cut instead of a bunch of cuts. Since we have 15, let's move my stuff over here. Since we have 15 little pine tines, we need 5. We have 3 mesh ribbons. We need 5 pieces of mesh. And we are gonna cut our mesh at about 30, 31 inches, depending on how thick your mesh is. And we're just gonna cut across with our rotary. I always miss the bottom part. Every time. Okay. So now with one cut, we were able to cut 3 pieces. Okay, so I put mine in a basket just so I don't make a mess. We're gonna take our 30, anywhere between 30, 33 inches, depending, like I said, on how thick your mesh is. And what I mean by that is you see, I don't know if you can tell how much space there is between each of these little threads. So the denser the threads are, the more close together they are, the thicker they are, the shorter you need your mesh to be, because your color will be able to show through. If your space is really wide between each thread, then you're gonna need longer pieces so that you can actually see the color. Okay, so it's a, you know, there's not an exact number that you're gonna measure it. It all depends on what kind of mesh you have. So we're gonna take our mesh and we are gonna roll the corners in. And then the reason why we're doing this is because mesh frays. I don't care if you get the most expensive or the cheapest, if you put hairspray on it, burn the ends, pray over it, doesn't matter, it's going to fray. So what this does is the fraying is kind of just trapped inside of this loop, so you don't notice it as much. So this just helps your wreath last longer or look nicer for longer without fraying so much. So we curl in and then we will just kind of walk in and make this cute little butterfly looking thing. Okay, so we have our dark green. This is dry by now. And we are going to open up, let's do it this way. We're going to open up one set of our little legs, and we are going to tie and tie it our first piece of mesh here. So we have our dark green out here. We're gonna do our light green next. Now, if that is too much for you to do, there's another way that we can do this. We can, let's say, put our scissors on this end, just to keep it away. We can start to roll our mesh and get a clothespin, a potato chip. Oops. Let's do one more turn. And hold that in place. Put your scissor back on the other side. Come on this side. Fold it over. And just roll it. Put your clip there. Now you have 2 clips. And now you can just kind of squish this together. Or you can just do one side and squish it together. More than one way to skin a cat. But who would want to skin a cat? So we have our little butterfly looking cruffle here. And let's put this one in the center here. And we'll open it and just close it. Okay. Now let's do another way to do it, which is how I like to do it. So take your edge, just roll it yourself in the middle, and then voila, there you go. Any way you want to do it, whatever works for you, whatever floats your boat. So we will put this on the outer edge, same thing, tie it together, and we're gonna fluff these out. Okay, so let's take a set of our 3 different colors again. And what I think I'm gonna do is just alternate. Dark green on this side, and then we'll do the light green here and the gold in the middle. So I'm gonna do this different ways. Roll it in, clip, flip it over, roll it in, clip it, and then kind of walk it to the other side. Take off the clips. Broke one. And we have one of them here. So this one we will do on the edge here. Now we're gonna go to our center one, which we said we're going to do in this lime green. You want to use one clip, roll it, flip it, get the other side, start rolling it, and then walk it in the middle. We have our second little butterfly. Sound like Marge Simpson there for a sec. Okay, now we're gonna do our gold. And we're just gonna do this all the way across until we fill up our wreath base, okay? So this is what our base looks like right now. Isn't that nice and full? Gorgeous. I haven't decided which will be my top. I think this will be my top. Okay, so we have a sign like this that came like this, and I just cut it apart into 3 little pieces. So we have our top hat, our St. Patrick's sign, and these cute little legs. So we are going, all I did was just tear off the string that put it together. I don't like how the top here is a little empty. So I am going to add 1 more Chenille stem to the, almost to the tippy top, about 1 inch from the top. I'm gonna do like I did before and just tie it in there. Going to staple it. And then I'm going to put some hot glue on the other side. And I'm going to take some mesh, not as much this time. I'm gonna take about 20 inches. Do the same thing, just roll in. Here's 1. Roll in. There's 2. This is the super fast version. And here's 3. And I am going to add these 3 here to the very end. Okay, I like that much better. I did put this one sideways. This is just to fix the fact that I left a little bit too much space on top. So see how close I did it to the very top there? So maybe when you're doing this, scoot this up a little bit more. Maybe have it 2.5 inches from the top. Okay, but no problem. You see, we can always do quick fixes at the end. So these are this way, is the only one that's this way. Okay, so our little top hat, I want to put about right here. So to do that, I'm going to get my cable mount, and I'm going to put it on the back here towards the bottom. I'm going to hot glue just a bit so that they don't fall. Get some Chenille stems here. Tie our Chenille stems once, twice. Don't burn yourself. Okay, so that's what that looks like. We can go ahead and do our St. Patrick's Day sign as well. Right smack in the middle. Instead of doing Chenille stems, let's do floral wire. It's longer. It's smaller. So let's do floral wire instead. You can use Chenille Stems if you don't have floral wire. Okay, that's what it looks like with floral wire. So the legs we're gonna put on the very top. That. Put some hot glue. Let's get our floral stem. We're just getting our signs ready as our hot glue dries off, cools down and dries on our other two signs. Okay, so our signs are pretty much dry. So we decided this was going to be our top. And we're going to add our hat. I kind of want it sideways. I think right here. So what we're gonna do, dig our way through the mesh. Let's do our legs first. And we're going to take our floral stem. We're going to go through our mesh with the floral stem, which is so much easier to do than the Chenille stem. Just kind of have the mesh serve as some support in addition to just tying it in the back. So poke it through the mesh as well. I don't know why I'm singing. Okay. So it went through the mesh on both sides. Oh yeah, the floral stems way easier to do, y'all. If you can get your hands on some floral stems, I would definitely recommend doing the floral stems. So far, that's what we have. Now our middle sign, I think I'm gonna put right smack in the middle. So I think right there is perfect. We get the floral wire. I'll show you. I'm hugging him. He's a very affectionate leprechaun. My husband will be very jealous if he sees this video. Okay. So that's so far what we, you know what, you guys, I really don't like the Chenille stem on the hat. I'm gonna take that off and I'm gonna put a floral stem. The floral stem, you can go through the mesh, it works better. I guess if you don't have one and you have to use a Chenille stem, it'll be harder, but you can use your Chenille stem to go through the mesh as well. It's just gonna take you a little bit longer. Okay, so we have our floral stem that we've replaced instead of our Chenille stem. What do we think about this height? Yeah, that's good. So let's put our our floral stem through the mesh. Of where we want it. I do want it kind of at an angle, so. Again, just tie it in the back. Okay, voila. That's super cute. So now let's add some ribbon to this. And I came up with this, these combinations. I like this gold, and I want to use this little white on top of that. I have this sheer kind of like a lime green, and I want to use this green on top of that. And then I have this bright kind of like mesh green, and I want to use this on top of that. So we're gonna do two sets of cuts of ribbon on each side. They're gonna be matching. So we're gonna cut 14 and 14. We're gonna put them together. Find our middle, pinch it, and we have our V. And then we will attach this V on the side little leg set. I'm gonna undo it and tie in our ribbon. And do it a couple times to make sure it's in securely. Do the same thing on the other side, which I already did. So here's the bottom. And we'll start moving up and adding ribbon as we go up. So let's cut our second set of ribbon. We're gonna cut these at 14 inches, y'all. Put our ribbon on top of each other. Fold it in the middle. And we have our little V, a little bat. Kind of looks like a bat, doesn't it? Okay, so we're gonna put that on our next piece on our next Chenille stem. Do the same thing on the other side. Get our 14 pieces of ribbon, fold them in half, make a V, and then add these to our next outer Chenille stem. And secure it tightly, tie it a couple times so it doesn't fall out. Okay. So this is what we have so far. And I'm gonna add some bows to this. So let's take our ribbon. I'm actually gonna do this one on the bottom. I'm gonna measure about how far I want my tails, which ended up being about 6 inches. So I'm going to pinch, take my ribbon, pinch it right here. I'm going to make a loop, and let me see how big I want my loop to be. I don't want it too big. So loop's about 5 inches, okay? Next, I'm gonna bring the bow from the back here forward. Measure my tails, make sure they're about the same length. Okay. And then I'm going to cut my tail. So I have one cute little bow. I use the next ribbon I'm going to use, which is this one. So we know, I said it was about 6 inches. I'm going to start it on this side, hold it, pinch it, bring my bow, eyeball it where I want it, about this size. Okay, pinch it. We're going to come back on this side, bring it forward. Get my thumb to hold it, measure my tails. They're about the same. And then I'm going to cut the tail on this one. This about 6 inches. Make our loop. Put it back on top. Measure our loops, make sure they're about the same. And our tail. Green and white striped ribbon. Our tail's about 6 inches. Make our loop. We're making our loops a little bit smaller as we go also. Making this one at least a little bit smaller. Bring it to the front. Okay. Cut that tail. And we're going to put our gold. About right there. Make our loop a little bit smaller than the last loop. Bring it forward. So far, And the center one, I'm going to make just a single loop. I'm going to take, this is our bow. I'm going to take the zip tie and tie the center of it really nice and tight. Cut our zip tie, fluff our bow out. And we're gonna get a piece of floral stem, put it through the center here, and tie it. Oops. Okay. So let's get back to our wreath, our swag, sorry. Put this one here. And we are going to tie it the same way that we've been tying the rest of our signs and all that. We're just going to figure out where we want it, right about here. And then we're going to get our floral stem, poke it through the mesh so that it can get to the other side. Reminds me of a QWERTY joke. Why did the floral stem poke the mesh? To get to the other side. Wah, 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 wah. I love QWERTY jokes, y'all. Okay, this one's not wanting to go through. There we go. Okay. We got it. Okay, then let's fix our ribbon. Here it is, okay. Isn't that cute? Okay, so we're gonna put one more bow up here, but let's try to make a little bit of a smaller one. It's our little bow. Let's attach him to our wreath. Let's say right there is good. And just like before, take our floral stem and just poke it through our mesh. Little stinker hurts. Okay, and do it the same on the other side. So far, it's looking cute. It's real blingy. Let's bling it out some more, y'all. All this. I'm gonna take all this inside the house. Okay. So let's add some cute, cute little shamrocks everywhere. I have this little shamrock. We can just put some glue. And glue it to our mesh. I am not going to put my finger underneath it. I've learned that lesson long ago. I've lost many a fingerprint. Being impatient, I will wait. I will just wait for it to dry. Or use something else. See, that could have been my finger. Instead, it was a scissor tip. Got scars, y'all. Wreath making scars. So put that there. We have some gold coins. Let's put a gold coin right up here. Just put some glue. Putting it right there. And I'm just putting hot glue on the styrofoam and just sticking it to the mesh. See that gold coin I just put right there? And I have a little shamrock I put there. If you see any excess or fraying mesh, go ahead and cut it as you see it. On this side, I have a dark green shamrock. Let's put that on a gold piece. Right on that gold on this gold mesh right there. So we got some little bling that we're adding. I have different size little shamrocks I could put everywhere. Put that one right there. I do have these green little carnations with gold on them. So I think I'm gonna put that right next to the hat. I'm just gonna put super glue around the base. And put it right there. Okay, and let's fluff our ribbon out. Any pipe cleaners we see sticking out, let's roll them in. Or cut them off if you'd like. All right, guys, so after we fluffed all of our ribbon, look at our sides. Look how thick and big this wreath, the swag is, I'm sorry. Isn't this gorgeous? I love it. This is so stinking cute. So if you guys like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment in the section. It really helps me out. If you have not subscribed, please consider doing so you guys can catch all of my tutorials. This is a swag on a painter's stick. Look at how thick it came out. I mean, I'm amazed. This is super cute. I think I'm going to keep this one on my door, actually. Well, I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Bye.